What's up, everybody? Today we're going to review this brand new BMW 430i with the M package. BMW has loaned us this car so we could review its brand new 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Kind of give it a little bit of a boost because it is a great motor.
Does this have that 48-volt battery?
It does have the 48 volt. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works, but it does have a 48 volt boost system. Yeah.
What about instead of this car, we review that car behind you?
With that car?
That car right there.
That car doesn't have the 48 volt. This car has a 3-liter twin turbocharged engine, making about 498 horsepower, although when people dyno them, they make a lot more. So that's a very, very low estimate. It also has a really cool water injection system. So what happens is you put distilled water in the trunk, and to lower the temperature in the intakes, it throws in a little bit of distilled water. So that water evaporates and brings the temperature down.
Is that the carbon fiber strut brace too across the
Yeah. Put a little bit more room in there.
That's
It's as clean as they come.
Looks a lot. This is 2015?
16.
16.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this looks a lot cleaner than my 10-year-old car.
No, this thing's lived inside. This thing's never spent one night outside. So if you take a look,
That really is crazy.
so if you take a look at this here, this splitter is pretty cool. It's an adjustable carbon fiber, real carbon fiber splitter. It comes all the way out. This thing is actually a pain in the neck to have on the road, but let's be honest, this isn't a road car. This is BMW's out-of-the-box track car. There's only 300 imported. There's not a lot of them around, so yeah. But this car is basically all bone stock. Well, here it is out in the light. As you could see, this thing is pristine. Has that PPF on top, right? PPF, is that what they call
PPF,
it? Yeah,
yeah.
PPF, yeah, on top of that. So any rock chip, any rock gets deflected off. So this is, I think it's the only BMW, street legal BMW to come with a factory roll cage. 300 that came to the States kind of got this abbreviated roll cage. The other 400 that were throughout the world, I think they got a little bit more of an advanced roll cage. It also comes with a BMW fire extinguisher and fire system, and carbon fiber roof, which I think is pretty cool. As we had talked about briefly, is the water injection system. So here it is in the trunk, and you can see on this one, this car is obviously in perfect condition here, but you put distilled water in here, right? You're probably gonna say, what if it freezes? Well, what happens is the car throws it out of the lines when you stop. So it's a pretty advanced system. And again, it lowers the temperature in the intake, so you could put a little bit more boost on it that way. This comes with a titanium exhaust, and this is a stock diffuser here too. This comes with the car. And the problem with this exhaust is it's very tinny because it's titanium. It weighs nothing, but it gives a little bit of a tinny sound. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll do equal length mid pipes or a single mid pipe. That's fine. They sound a lot better with that. The issue is you have to physically cut at the top of the muffler. I mean, I have other cars that are loud and obnoxious. I
Like
think
the Trailblazer.
my Trailblazer, yeah, we'll
Might
film that
feature
next time.
that next,
We'll feature
yeah.
that next time. Yeah, Trailblazer is a pretty badass truck. If you're wondering if this is my first M car, it's not. I'm 42. My first M car was in 1999-ish. I had a 95 M3, and then an E36, and then an E46 day car yellow individual car with no sunroof. I turned that into a track monster, had a roll cage, supercharged the whole nine. And so then I had an F10 M5. On top of that, so not my first rodeo. Definitely probably the first one that I'm going to keep mostly stock, which is weird for me because everything I have is modified. So kind of a new thing.
We got the GTS taillights back here too.
Yeah, the OLEDs or however they pronounce it. Yeah, I don't see the reason that's a race car why you would need these, but every BMW fanboy loves these OLEDs. I don't really get. I guess they're individual lights going up, but yeah, they're okay. They're behind me, I don't see them, so. People don't know what they want, right? Everybody says they want a track car, they want a race car, but when they get a race car, they complain about it, which I think is hilarious, right? So people complain and go, oh, the stereo stinks in this thing. They don't even give you handles, they pull this thing, there's no insulation on this car. Well, yeah, that's what it was designed for.
It's a race car.
This car was designed to be an out-of-the-box track car. That's also street legal, which is pretty cool. But it does have some quirks of a race car that you might not like. I think this car is awesome. I think this car is perfect, but it does have a rough ride. But so what? It's not meant to be driven on the street. It's meant to be driven on a track. There's no power seats on this thing. You know, there's no insulation on this thing.
They're really not power seats. You have to slide.
Yeah, those are no power seats. Those are regular. You got to adjust them. You got to pull it up and move them forward.
You got the handle right there.
Yeah,
on the side.
That's what these are. That's what it is. There's no back seat. There's no insulation on this thing. You're probably looking at it through the camera going, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's pretty barren in there. Like if you go sit inside the new 4 Series and go sit in this, you're like, oh my God, it's like a jail cell in there. There's like nothing in there. You're expecting to be a book and a ball to throw against the wall. There's nothing in there. That has all the features. This has got nothing, but you don't need it. You know, it's got bare minimum, bare bones.
Love it. GTS on the dash. What does that speedo go up to? 200? That's ridiculous. So yeah, not a lot of. It looks very different from a regular 3 or 4 Series from this generation.
Yeah, very different. Yeah, this is where he would keep his stuff when he went to the track.
Nice.
I got to take this out. Yeah.
At the door. This is the pull it shut.
Yeah, I know.
They're so light and just like, yeah.
Yeah, there's not much to these doors. These doors are really light. Yeah, these doors are really. As you can see, it's like
no center console.
There's nothing to put your elbow on, which is fine because if you're racing, like you're not
right.
Nice guy who owned this car before me, and I had reached out to him, and he's like, dude, it's like a cheat code with this car. He's like, it handles so well that when you go to Monticello, he's like, it just out handles everything, and then. Again, not on the track, on the street. And the street very different than the track as far as the conditions of the road. The roads here are, they're very imbalanced, and it throws the car off a little bit. But you could just feel that this car really handles the road very well.
Yeah.
It really, really, really. If you're telling it to go to the right, it goes to the right. If it's a really, really well balanced, well thought out car, well engineered car.
It feels literally while we're sitting in here and you're like making movements while you're talking. I can you can almost feel how stiff the car is. Literally just sitting in place.
Car stiff. I know. Yeah. So there's not much here. So normally there's no digital parts to this. So you go to another BMW of this era, F80, F82, and this would all be digital and then the whole nine. Like there's no digital anything. It's just if you want some air, you put the air on. It's it's just a knob with the.
I like how you don't. I've never seen this before. I don't know if this is a GTS thing specifically, but you don't even have the just hot and cold. It's just the actual.
That's the actual temperature. Yeah. There's not much.
Right, because you're saying you don't even get that digital.
There's no
display
digital. Yeah,
to
there's
show
no display.
what
Yeah,
temperature.
display. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. With the roll cage.
With the fire extinguisher too. Look at that.
With the fire extinguisher. I know. I was actually going to buy another one because in case something happens to that.
Factory fire extinguisher.
Yeah, and believe it or not, not really a BMW trait, but this is the way this comes. This is the way this car comes with that roll cage in there. The roll cage is sitting against the top of this light. When I had got in here the first time, when I was doing some research on these cars, I was like, ooh, I wonder if that's because when you go to the track, usually they make you put padding over the roll cage.
Yeah.
And when I had got into this, I'm like, oh, did somebody do that? And then I did some research, and I'm like, oh, that's actually the way it comes. It comes
it's an out of the box track car.
It's out of the box track car. Yeah. Out of the box track car. But
that's got to be pretty cool rolling up in the GTS.
Yeah, I rolled up by myself to a restaurant and they were like, "Sir, you lost?" So I'm like, "No, not lost."
Yeah, but you're not valeting.
No, I let them valet.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. The restaurant
Good
down here,
you.
Restaurant MV. My buddy owns it, and the valet guys are awesome.
All right, you know them.
I let them drive. I wouldn't let
Anybody,
regular valet. I wouldn't go to regular Joe Schmo valet. No, I don't know what would happen. But the valets down here, they took my big horsepower Trailblazer and they
really.
Oh yeah, They were like, I was like, take it around the block. They were like, no. I was like, no, take it.
Take it for a little spin.
Big horsepower Trailblazer. Yeah, I was like, go ahead, take it. They treat everything. They see all the cars down there. So if you trust a valet, I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
But like a valet that I don't know, I probably would think twice about it. Yeah, but I still get a kick out of it when people. Complain about this car. They're like, oh, it's I'm like, what you bought?
You knew what you signed up for.
You knew what you signed up for. You signed up
Absolutely.
for. Anyway.
Awesome.
All
right. Well, now we can officially. Now that we've got this done, we can go ahead and review the 4 Series.